Hello, everybody. Welcome to Off the Court with Harvard Council Motivational Session. I want to come to you and talk to you today about how you were born to win, but conditioned to lose. You were born to win, but conditioned to lose. And there's a little story that I always share with people, or a little example that I usually share with people about fleas in a jar that kind of gives you a little background of what we're talking about being born to win, conditioned to lose. All right, just say I have a little canister in my hand, okay? And there's 10 fleas in this jar. And the fleas are in the jar, and they just jumping up and down and jumping up and down. And it's a scientific study, a scientific fact that fleas are able to jump 36 inches high. All right. Of course, this jar is not 36 inches high that they're in, but they're just jumping up and down out of this jar and going back in, up and down and up and down. All right. So now you take a lid and you put it on top of this jar. And when you put the lid on the jar, the fleas are still jumping up and down inside of this jar. But now what's happening? What's happening is that the fleas are hitting their head on the top of this lid now. All right, and they've been in there for an hour, just jumping and jumping and jumping. So now I go and I take the lid off of the jar. All right, now what do you think the fleas are doing now? Yeah, they're still jumping. But guess how high they're jumping now? They're only jumping as high as that lid was now when they are scientifically able, or it's been studied that they're able to jump 36 inches high. Now they're only jumping 10 inches high because that lid has been put on them. Okay, and now they've been conditioned not to jump any higher than that. And that's how we are in our lifetime a lot of times, where we can go out there, we can be doing great things, or we can do great things, but somebody came up and said that you couldn't do this or you can't do that. So what they're doing now is they're putting a lid on you to tell you how far you're going to go in life. But you shouldn't allow anybody to tell you how far you can go in life. All right, those fleas were conditioned, and a lot of times people are trying to condition you in life. Don't let that happen. Okay, don't let that happen. Don't let anybody tell you can't do something, all right? Because you can do it, especially if God has given you a gift to do something, you can do it, all right? Things that you're going to have to work for, nobody's just going to hand you anything, but don't let anybody tell you what you can't do. I can remember when I was in high school, it was said by some people that, I never graduated from college. Okay, and they knew I was a basketball player and things of that nature, and they didn't have really a high regard for basketball players because they thought they were just jocks or whatever. They're never going to do anything in the academic world. And I must admit, I wasn't the greatest student in high school, but I wasn't the greatest student because I chose not to be the greatest student. I was okay. I wasn't the worst student, but I didn't choose to be a great student when I should have. All right, but when that individual said that I would never graduate from college, all right, that did something inside of me. Something inside of me raised up inside and said, you know what, Harvey, you're going to prove these people wrong, man. All right, you're not going to let them put that lid or limitation on you. I'm not going to let anybody tell me what I can and cannot do. You can't let your teachers tell you what you can and cannot do. You can't let coaches tell you what you can and cannot do. Sometimes in certain cases, you can't let your parents tell you what you can and cannot do because what their vision for you and what your vision could be totally different, but you do it in a respectful way. All right, but don't let anybody, because if you got it inside you and you want to do it, don't let anybody suppress that and push that down and tell you can't do it. And too many times we're out here telling people all the time that they can't do it. But we got to start pushing people and say, hey, you can do it. If you believe you can do it, go and do it. All right, release that lid. All right, and go and do it because the sky's the limit out there. All right, you can do great things. All right, but you just got to remove that lid, take that top off so you can jump as high as God has it out there for you to jump, okay? Because you were born to win, all right? But in this life, we are being conditioned to lose, all right? Born to win, all right? When you came out, you came out successful. But everything that you're learning has caused you to lose, all right? So you don't want to get to that point, all right? Stay on top. All right, you were born to win. Remember that part. You were born to win. Lift that lid of limitation, take that lid off, and fly as high as you can fly. God bless.